What's up, guys? Quick update on the Whaler. I'm sure if you guys have watched the videos, you can see as time goes on, Whaler starts to look a little beat up, but we've been stockpiling some parts, getting some parts together. We have already done a couple of fixes because some stuff is broke. I'll show you guys that. And we've had a couple of, well, we had a tire blowout, so we had to change some setup stuff on the trailer. I'm gonna show you guys that. And we forgot to flush the motor on our last trip out, so we're gonna do that now because better late than never. So yeah, let's get at it right now. So we'll start at the front down here. Our nav light here, the old one was sitting down on the deck of the boat, and because of the rub rail, it always ended up sitting, like this area of the light would always end up sitting in like a pool of salt water, and that was just a no-go. The old one that I took off was all eroded right here by the bolt holes and around this where it was mounted at. So we got ourselves a nice little spacer block right here, a nice little 3/8 machined spacer block that we posted up our new nav light on. It's looking nice up there. We got it all sealed up because I'm sick and tired of the salt water getting in there. But yeah, 5200. I'm sure a lot of people are like, dang, that is never gonna come off, but it will. I didn't sand down to the fiberglass, so it's not really a super bonded seal. It's enough to keep this thing on here and to keep the water and moisture out, but it's not gonna stay on there forever. This thing, however, if you guys remember the first video I did on the build, it's starting to kind of separate from the aluminum, but man, that 5200 is never gonna come off because I've sanded down to the fiberglass on that one before I sealed it. So that one is just, it's kind of there. It's there for the life of the boat. But yeah, new nav light works great. We just tested it out the other night, which is kind of why there's no fishing video this week, because we went out night fishing and only caught a couple sharks. I'm gonna try to throw the footage in here if it does come out good, but we ran into a couple of camera problems and stuff, so footage might not be that great, but we did catch a couple of little sharks and stuff. So yeah, nav light, that's never coming off. We had a blowout on the trailer, so we had to go back to the 12-inch rim. We were on the 8-inch rim to keep it low and to make sure I didn't have to go too far in the water with the back of my car. It makes the boat easier to launch if it's, you know, closer to the water height wise. So we ended up having to go back to the 12-inch rim, which isn't a big deal, but it rose the trailer up, so that was kind of a bummer. And the boat kind of sat front, which is horrible for like if it rains or something and you're pulling your boat down the road. You know, gravity of you driving will push some of the water out, but if it's real like that, it's gonna pool up and stuff. It's gonna make the tongue real heavy. It's gonna make your boat heavier for you to tow. And to fix that height problem, what we did is we went from a over the axle spring to a underslung under the axle spring. I'll show you guys that right now. So the leaf spring right there used to sit over top. It used to sit on the top of the axle, so now it's down underneath. We dropped the boat a little bit, and now it's a lot closer to being where it used to be. It's right about waist level now. So, and the boat does sit, you know, a good little, it's not drastically cocked back, but it does have a nice little tilt back to it, so that worked out great. I had some people ask me about my trolling motor the other day. Give you guys a quick update on the trolling motor. I purchased this trolling motor a little over a year ago, I think it was, and put it on this. I've had this bow mount on here since I pretty much did the build, besides when I had the trolling motor mounted up on this. But yeah, we've had the bow mount trolling motor for a while now, but we just throw our own. We take the head off, take the wires out, shove our own trolling motor on there, and send it. But the trolling motor, it does pretty good. The switches up here on the top of the motor kind of get a little corroded sometimes, and they have to be cleaned, which is no big deal. However, the whole trolling motor kind of just needs to be rewired over the time. It's just bad connections and stuff. I've had to just kind of splice this stuff pretty much every trip out. I just redo these for now, and it ain't been too fun, but we got some parts and some wire to fix that stuff, and we did the nav light, we had the nav light, and we did the trailer. Another thing we have is some bottom paint. So the bottom paint on this side isn't really too bad. You can see where the old bunks, on the old trailer, we didn't have carpet on the bunks, so the bunks tore up the bottom paint on this side. However, on this side, it's just completely fading off, just from driving the boat through water and hitting weeds. And it's been a few years since the bottom paint has been done, so I do have some of that, so we're gonna get that taken care of. The other thing is I'm dealing with a dang fueling problem. I don't know if it's my my fuel pump in the motor, or if I'm just having a ventilation problem in the gas tank. I think it's a ventilation problem, because these things suck at venting. And I put a new primer bulb on it. It was like collapsing, so I was like, maybe the primer ball is just kind of old and lost its, you know, its rigidity. So I replaced primer ball, still having the problem. I'm gonna test out some venting on the tank to see if that works. If that doesn't work, however, we're just gonna go ahead and do the fuel pump on the motor itself and just knock that out. But yeah, other than that, she just really needs to be pressure washed up. I did a little bit of cleaning with it the other day, but nothing too crazy. The motor, of course, is just a freaking workhorse. Can't be the Yamaha. Trolling motor mount, or the transducer mount, still doing pretty good. It's got a little flex on the starboard there on the ceiling, but you want a little flex sometime. We'll flush the motor and maybe get at you with some fishing content from the other night. Other than that, I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Whoa, did he change shirts? No, it's the next day. I forgot to talk about probably the most noticeable thing that's broke on the boat, and that is my hinges. My hinges on my compartment here have broken. Well, this one didn't break, but the screws came out, so I'm gonna make some nice little aluminum blocks right here for some backing, kind of. I'm gonna seal that down, then mount onto that, and I'm gonna do the same thing with this. I'm gonna just put a little step up on here with a little piece of aluminum maybe, and we'll see how that works out, because I don't want to keep just drilling new holes and blowing them out like these ones over here. So I want to do like I did this one. This one doesn't have any screws, no new holes, no nothing. It's just 5200 onto the paint, and that should still allow us to peel it off when we want to. We're going to do the same thing here, so that we're not just drilling a bunch of new holes, because the less amount of holes you put in these boats, the better, of course, over the long run.